Well, this is not a drill. Chelsea Football Club have won a football match.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. I really do hope that. Welcome to your complete breakdown of Chelsea 1, Brighton 0. I'm just going to let the cat in the Carabao Cup, in the EFL Cup. That's right, Chelsea eliminating Brighton from the competition, and Chelsea are in the hat for the next round. A peculiar game, a spicy game. Second half better than the first. Nico Jackson ultimately scoring the decisive goal that saw Chelsea win the game. Although I'm pretty darn sure, and I'm trying not to look through my blue tinted lenses here, I'm pretty sure he should have had a brace, and his second goal that was ruled offside was onside. Certainly Pochettino wagging the finger there on the touchline was very sure it should have been onside. In fact, the officiating was really rather poor on the day. Chelsea fans singing "Are You Taylor" in disguise. But Chelsea got a clean sheet, a goal, and a win, and qualification to the next round. So if you're feeling good, please do drop a like on the video, and do consider subscribing if you want to. You are more than welcome to, of course. Right. I'm going to read to you some stats. There's a very peculiar lineup, really strange game in its entirety. Actually, the second half was a lot better than the first. Some good performers, we'll talk about that. Some really weird moments, like how Leslie Ugochukwu came out on the second half, I don't know. He very much should have got a second yellow in the first half. My cat's being weird. No VAR, of course, so we were lucky with that. Had they'd scored and equalised, we would have gone straight to penalties. Brighton played a 4-2-3-1, slightly rotated, but a very, very strong front four with Mitoma, Fati and Pedro all starting. Of course, but Buena Noche as well, a young looking player. Bit of a knobhead, actually, that guy seems like. Chelsea countered with their own 4-2-3-1, and of course many Chelsea fans were raising our eyebrows together because there were 3 left backs dying and we were trying to build different lineups. But no, it remains the same. Pochettino's 4-2-3-1 formation, but Ben Chilwell playing left back, Marc Cucurella playing right back, more on him later, and Ian Maatsen playing right wing, which kind of makes sense, cutting in on his left boot. Of course, Chelsea were at home. I think we should have won 2-0. I think that one goal was wrongly ruled offside. But Brighton had over 60% possession, 61% possession at Stamford Bridge, which makes you think, maybe this is the secret. Just don't try and have like 70% possession. Let them have the ball. We'll score a few goals. Look, guys, let's be real here. Brighton are a very good side, well coached and high in confidence. Chelsea, as a team, are very, very low on confidence at the moment. They took 13 shots to our 9, though what I do like is only 2 shots of that were on target, which poor finishing, but also good defending from Chelsea. Our 9 shots, 4 on target, which is good. We had a bunch of offsides as well. 5 offsides, wild. They had 16 fouls to our 6, so they were doing a lot of fouls, which we had 15 free kicks. Look, I mean, both teams missed one big chance. They had the dominant stats in terms of ball, but really in terms of being effectiveness, it was pretty even, but Chelsea were, I guess, a little bit better. I want to talk about player performances in just a moment and where we go from here. But it was a good game. It was spicy, it was really keenly contested, there were some weird moments in it, and I guess we can discuss those weird moments as we go by talking about player performances here. Alright, so in goal we had Rob Sanchez, who, let's be on it real, in that first half when he passed the ball out to João Pedro really slowly, that didn't even look like a misplaced pass. That looked like brother was still being paid by Brighton. That was literally just teeing up Pedro. Like, there you go, rolling it out to him. It was nowhere near like Disassi, whoever, or Colwell. That was really, really concerning. He also had some other wobbly moments with passing. And with that, you're kind of starting to understand why, De Zerbi didn't rate his passing so much. But he did make 2 good saves. He is good at making saves. And, last time out, against Villa and indeed Bournemouth, he played really well, Sanchez. So even if he had wobbly moments emotionally against his old club here, I think we can forgive him for the moment. Of course, it wasn't just him. It was like, Cucurella, Caicedo, and to a degree Colwell as well, who was on loan. very Brighton heavy narrative in our team. Of course, we saw Disassi and Colwill centre-back partnership. Very happy with Colwill. His passing's just excellent, isn't it? The fact how you can get that wicked passing out of Levi Colwill from a centre-back position and then use a fullback, how fullbacks are supposed to be used, or natural fullbacks. I think you just do this. I like how Levi Colwill... What are you doing there? I like how Levi Colwill, the cat, played as a centre-back here. And, yeah, I feel like we just need to play him in the back, centre-back too. Of course, Thiago Silva was rested. That cat knocked something off the shelf. Thiago Silva had to be rested. The likes of Enzo was rested but came on. Didn't play that well when he came on. So, yeah, let's talk about the back four. Ben Chilwell was the captain on the day. I feel like he got a little bit emotional and heated. I told you, man. I told you. Let's get the fucking cat out. Yeah, so I feel like he was a little bit heated on the day. Mia, let's get you out now, I'm afraid, because... Look, up the Chels. Out you go. Go on. Alright. Yes, a little bit emotional, heated on the day. Came off injured, I hope he's okay. But probably not the strongest in the back four. Colwill and Disassi. I think Disassi wasn't best in terms of passing, but defensively he was okay. He did do that poor headed clearance on a corner and just absolutely teed up Joao Pedro, or on a transition. He defended an aerial ball and just teed up Joao Pedro for a volley that, thank all the gods, it went over. Mark Cucurella. Let's spend a minute talking about him. The second half, he was bloody wicked. He played right back. I mean, yeah. Obviously, he's not going to be a dynamic, offensive right back. But in that second half, again, maybe he was fired up because it's his former team. He was excellent, bro, defensively. He made 9 tackles, 2 interceptions. He really locked down that right-hand flank. He won 11 out of his 13 ground duels. That win percentage of ground duels is like biblical, man. Like 11 out of 13. Like, you should be like anything over 50%, like you're doing well. But to win 11 out of 13 is incredible. He won 2 out of 3 aerial duels. Dude was got 68 touches. He had 4 out of 5 accurate long balls. Mate, Mark Cucurella is right back. I don't think he was particularly good in the first half, but dude went freaking Super Saiyan in the second half. Someone injected him with Super Soldier serum at halftime, and man came out and did bits. Let me know what you think about Cucurella. I think he was incredible in that second half. Moises Caicedo, I think, was good. Maybe he also got a bit overwhelmed with the emotion of the occasion, cup game, the way fans giving you jip. I think he's just going to settle more and more. He's a really good player. I think he'll be fine. Leslie Ugochukwu, how this guy came out in the second half, I don't know. He got a yellow in the first half. He made a couple of mistakes. But throughout the 90, Ugochukwu had moments when he makes amazing interceptions, win headers, holds up the ball well, looks very physical. But in that first half, he got the yellow. He did that tackle, which could have been a red, and absolutely was a second yellow. And I just thought, right, well, he's not coming back in the second half. It would be Enzo Fernandez or Gunnar Gallagher, because it was really... I did an Instagram live at Football Yannick on Instagram, if you want to follow me. I was chatting to you guys, and I was just like, we all agreed, there's just no way Ugochukwu's coming out on the second half. But he came out, and he held his nerve, and the teenager kept his head, held his nerve, and saw out a clean sheet to ensure Chelsea got qualification into the next round. Alright, let's talk about the attackers. Cole Palmer, Ian Maatsen, Nico Jackson linking for the goal, but Mudryk doing excellent work, man. People will be frustrated, they'll look at Mudryk and they'll be like, well, he didn't get a goal or assist, but he worked very hard. He did impressive actions to get us to relieve pressure to get up the pitch, and he was involved with Chelsea's attack. Didn't have the most accurate passes, but his transitions were really, really strong. He did loads of ground duels as well, won 7 out of 12, which is strong. In terms of getting up the pitch and advancing Chelsea, I think he was really good. I think he was important. Cole Palmer playing in the number 10, getting the assist for Nico Jackson's goal, but it was also the pre-assist from Ian Maatsen playing right wing. Of course, left footer cutting inside on the right wing. His accurate passes were quite low though, Ian Maatsen. He only got 13 accurate passes, but, we didn't have that much of the ball. 61% possession to Brighton. He did defend well. Of course, he combined really well for that goal. Maatsen, Palmer, Jackson, nice finish. And if you're part of... And I know it's a bit like football hipster to talk about the pre-assist, but it's such an important part of combinational play, especially in a goal like that. Of course, if someone just hits a corner... no one cares what happens before or a cross. But when you combine with three players like that, the first guy in the action, which was Ian Maatsen in this instance, is so important. So he played well, I think. Obviously filling in, he's played all over the gaff, and he's played in all three positions behind the striker, and he may have played a little bit of his position left back at some point. Clearly, Pochettino doesn't rate him as a left back in terms of his profile. But if he feels he can get minutes in these positions, then, superb. Nico Jackson, all action, of course. He played until the final 5 minutes because he's going to be banned for Fulham. Got the goal, probably should have had a brace. Played really well. I'm always really impressed with Nico's... dedication, doesn't ever stop playing essentially or get gassed out. He's so athletic. He's so fit essentially that he can just go to the end. We saw 4 substitutions. None of them really did much except maybe Conor Gallagher and Breuer. Enzo Fernandez came on, just sort of ran around a little bit. He came on for Palmer, sort of playing in the number 10. An interesting thing I think about Enzo is when he plays in the front two out of possession. We press in a 4-4-2, and it's Jackson and Enzo up front. So Pochettino obviously trusts him to do the pressing triggers, probably because he's his countryman. You imagine he gives him detailed instructions in Spanish of how to press. So it's him and Nico in a 4-4-2, but of course he drops in possession. I didn't think he particularly did much. I think he gave the ball away. Sterling came on, also didn't do much. By that point, we were doing a lot of defending, which means the likes of Conor Gallagher, who's a combative player, good at pressing, good at, playing out of pressure. He came on, he was useful to see out, the win. And for the final 3 minutes and stoppage time, which was 7 minutes, Breuer came on, which was a welcome sight for sore eyes. And was useful and helpful for helping Chelsea see out the game because he immediately won a corner. He helped relieve pressure towards the end and kept the ball in the corner so Chelsea could see out their win in the Carabao Cup. Yeah, man, look, I was certain we weren't going to win this game outright, and that's just me just trying to be a realist. I was like, depending on how Brighton played, Chelsea gave... Look, we were by no means amazing in this game, and we were certainly a lot better in the second half than we were the first half. But they had to... It feels like because Chelsea was so low on confidence, and that was so evident in the first half with weird passes, being terrified in front of goal, Sanchez just rolling the ball out to Joao Pedro, Ugachukwu just making loads of fouls and errors. Clearly the team's just rattled right now. So... They had to go ninja Zen monk levels of... I suppose it's not Zen monk, is it? Because it was more like passion and fight. It was more like... I can't think of a fun analogy. I don't know. The men of Gondor riding on the Black Gate. One for the nerds. They had to fully go for it, and push themselves. And it just seemed like it mattered more to Chelsea than Brighton. Brighton are playing in Europe. They're fighting, further up the table. They've got 5 out of 6 wins in the Premier League. Haven't they or something? Look, they're just doing a lot better than us. And this would be a really bad look for Chelsea to continue losing. Although no one would have been surprised had we lost this game. In fact, the news stories tomorrow morning will be, a good win for Chelsea. Nico Jackson scoring another goal this season, getting off the mark. Maybe should have had another one. A clean sheet for the defence. Cucurella proving he can play on the other flank and quite well, actually. I wonder if we found something there. I don't know. Breuer coming back for the second time. Palmer getting his first goal contribution for Chelsea Football Club. Mudryk getting a standing ovation when he comes off because the fans appreciate what he's doing and his application, which will help him and help his confidence. Caicedo, all the ex-Brighton lads essentially reflecting on this game. Yet we eliminated Brighton. Sanchez, Cucurella, Caicedo, and to a degree Levi Colwill, who's on loan there. They've all been like, yep, cool, see you later, Brighton. Dealt with. onwards. This was such a high-profile fixture because of the history, and Chelsea have done it. So yes, guys, I'm pretty happy. Obviously, it's not like we were free scoring, tearing them to pieces, but it was a deserved win against Brighton. You know, a strong enough Brighton that rotated, but brought on some big guns as well. And that, for me, is good enough. So let me know what you think. I'll be very interested in learning what you've got to say down in the comment section. Thank you for liking the video. And as always, you are welcome to subscribe to this channel, Football Therapy. Peace.